Hello, it's me, Beau and Penny. Today we are going to be reading The Berenstain Bears Learn About Strangers. Strangers. Ooh, let's learn about strangers. Here we go. Cover page says, The Berenstain Bears Learn About Strangers. Bear Country is safe when every small cub there learns some special lessons from Ma and Papa Bear.
Where is it said Ma?
Oh, did it say Ma or Ma? Yeah, it says Ma and Papa Bear. I don't know. The Berenstain Bears Learn About Strangers by Stan and Jan Berenstain.
Oh, so I'm the bike.
Brother and Sister Bear, who lived with their mom and papa in the big tree house down a sunny dirt road deep in Bear Country, looked quite a lot alike. They do, don't they? Except for the fact that brother was a boy cub and sister was a girl cub. They were alike in many ways, and even though they each had hobbies, brother loved to build and fly model airplanes, sister had all sorts of special interests. They enjoyed many of the same things: bike riding, baseball, soccer, frisbee, and just getting out and enjoying nature. Which one of these do you like? I like soccer. Do you like drawing?
Yeah, I like whole drawing.
Yeah, me too. Yes, brother and sister were alike in many ways, but in some important ways they were different. I'm different, you're different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Brother Bear was cautious and careful and a little wary of strangers. Sister, on the other hand, wasn't the least bit wary. She was friendly to a fault. Just about everybody that came her way got a big hello. Hello, butterfly. Hello, frog. Hello, Mr. Truck Driver. Hello, Mrs. Shopper. She's quite friendly, isn't she? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, was he scared?
I don't know if he's scared. Let's read more. Well, brother worried about sister's free and easy way with strangers. Strangers weren't a problem for him. Not talking to strangers suited cautious and careful brother just fine. But friendly to a fault, sister was different. She talked to everybody. Hello, hi, hello. Sister, said brother, you're gonna have to stop that. Stop what? She asked. Talking to strangers. It's not a good idea. Why? She wanted to know. Why shouldn't I talk to strangers? What harm is there in it? Is there something wrong with strangers? Said brother, looking about for a moment. Those weren't questions for a brother. Those are for a mama or papa. Ooh, let's see what they have to say. Sister Bear, I'm glad you asked those questions, said Papa Bear in his deepest, most serious voice. The reason you should never talk to a stranger and never, ever take presents from a stranger and never, ever, ever go anywhere with a stranger is that it's dangerous. What's dangerous about it? She asked wide-eyed. What can happen? Oh dear, thought Mama Bear, I do hope Papa can tell Sister about strangers without making everything scary. Oh, all sorts of things, Papa said. Here, look at the newspaper. As she looked at it, her eyes got wider and wider. He's believing the sensationalism of the news. Oh boy, this is what she saw. Stranger bothers cub. Missing cub found. Chief Grizzly questions stranger. Cub safety meeting. Whoa, Bear Country news. I hope you're paying attention to all this, called Papa to Brother Bear. Yes, Papa, said brother, looking up from his airplanes. When Sister asked for a bedtime story that evening, Papa said, of course, I have just the one. It was an old book that Papa had kept since he was a cub. The story was called Silly Goose and Wily Fox. It told how Silly Goose got into a conversation with Wily Fox, and before Silly knew quite what was happening, she found herself in Wily's lair. This is how the story ended. Then there was a snip and a snap, and all that was left of Silly Goose was a few floating feathers and a smile on the face of Wily Fox. What do you think happened to the goose?
It's gonna eat.
Do you think he's gonna eat the goose?
Yep.
Oh, Sister looks a little worried about this story. Yes, that's not a very friendly story to read before going to bed, huh? Well, let's see. Well, Sister then had a hard time falling asleep that night. Her mind was filled with those headlines. There was even one that said, Silly Goose missing, Wily Fox questioned. Stranger bothers cub, missing cub, found Silly Goose, Chief Grizzly missing, questions, all these things swirling around her head. The sound of Brother Bear's peaceful breathing finally lulled her to sleep. Well, the next day dawned bright and early to everybody but Sister. She had spent a restless night, and when she looked out the window, everything seemed a little strange. The trees seemed to reach for her, an owl stared at her, and the crows glared. "Let's go out and ride our bikes on the village green," said Brother after breakfast, but Sister didn't want to. Brother was puzzled. The green was a bright and busy, friendly place where she loved to play. "Well, how about some soccer?" But she didn't want to do that either. Look at how worried she is. It wasn't until he suggested frisbee, her favorite sport, that she agreed to go along. I wonder why she's worried.
It's because she's scared of that story.
Oh, yeah, she is, yeah. Before they left, they told Mama where they'd be. It was a family rule that they never went anywhere without telling Mama or Papa. "That's fine," said Mama. "I'm on my way to Farmer Ben's for apples. I'll stop by for you on the way home." Isn't that smart to tell your mom and dad where you're going? Well, the village green was the same bustling place it had always been. This is what it looked like to everyone but Sister. Look at how happy and cheery that is. Oh, this is what it looked like to her. Today, even the frogs and the butterflies seemed mean and scary to Sister. Look at a little angry. Oh, look at even the balloons are angry. Later, when somebody tapped her on the shoulder, she jumped a mile, even though it was just Mama. Yipe!
Happy, mad.
Yeah.
They're both the same.
Everything's opposite. Look, even his cane is crooked. Straight, crooked. He's whistling a tune. Look, now he's... Wow. "How was everything at the village green?" asked Mama on the way home in the car. Sister sat in front with Mama, and Brother rode in back with a barrel of apples. "All right, I guess," said Sister, "but there were so many strangers." Later at home, when Mama and Sister were getting ready to make applesauce, Mama said, "You know what Papa told you was quite right. It's not a good idea to talk to strangers or accept presents or rides from them. But," she continued, "that doesn't mean that all strangers are bad. Why, chances are there wasn't a single person on that green that would harm a fly, much less a fine little cub like you. The trouble is, well, it's like this barrel of apples. There's an old saying that goes, there'll always be a couple of bad apples in every barrel. That's the way it is with strangers. Cubs have to be careful because of a few bad apples." Oh, look at that one. "Look," said Sister, "I found one. It's all bumpy and has a funny shape." Do you think that's bad?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. "Well, it certainly is strange looking," said Mama, "but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. You can't always tell from the outside which are the bad apples." So she cut it in half. "See," she said, "it's fine inside." That's a delicious looking apple. "Ooh, now here's one that looks fine on the outside. But inside it's all wormy." "Yuck," said Sister. "What's up?" said Brother. "A bad apple," said Sister. "Double yuck," said Brother. "Hey, I'm going to the meadow to fly my new pusher plane. Want to come?" "Sure," Sister said. "I can pick some wildflowers." She felt much better now, more like her old friendly self.
Oh, see, she's scared of it.
Yeah. The pusher plane was a great success, and the Cubs were about to head home when someone drove onto the meadow with a big, beautiful orange and green model airplane. "Wait," said Brother, "I want to watch. It's a radio-controlled job." Oh, that's pretty. Look at how happy he is to see that big plane coming. Well, Sister went back to picking wildflowers, but before she knew it, Brother was talking to the stranger. For that's what he was, a stranger. No matter how big and beautiful his radio-controlled job was, she dropped her wildflowers and ran over to them. What is she going to say?
No.
"I'm going to send it up and follow in the car," the stranger was saying. "Want to come along?" "Wow," said Brother, and he would have if Sister hadn't grabbed his arm and said, "Don't you dare." Well, the stranger drove off following his airplane, and Sister ran home shouting, "Brother, talk to a stranger! Brother, talk to a stranger!" "But it was a big orange and green radio-controlled job," said Brother. "That doesn't matter," said Papa. "We have rules about strangers, and they're important." "We have rules about tattletales, too," said Brother, glaring at Sister. Sister wasn't tattling. Tattling is telling just to be mean, explained Mama. And Sister was telling because she loves you, and she was worried. You think that fellow was a bad apple? Asked Brother. Probably not, said Mama. That's right, said Sister. Most folks are friendly and nice. Wouldn't hurt a fly. But you have to be careful, just in case. Speaking of apples, said Mama, how about some of this applesauce I made? Ooh, look, it looks hot. Yummy. As they sat having a dish of Mama's delicious applesauce, Brother and Sister thought about what they'd learned that day. There was quite a lot to think about for Brother and Sister's rules for cubs. Turn the page. You want to see the rules that they have?
Mhm.
Oh, these are the rules. 6 rules, very easy. Brother and Sister Bear's rules for cubs. 1, never talk to a stranger. 2, never take candy or other gifts from a stranger. 3, never ever go anywhere with a stranger. 4, don't keep secrets from your parents, especially if someone asks. They say, hey, don't tell your mom and dad, it'll be our secret. No, you always tell us. Okay? Your body is your own personal property and nobody else's business, especially private parts. When you're real little, of course, Mama and Papa may help you, going to the bathroom or bathing you, and your doctor may make sure that your body is all safe. Okay? Now, also use your common sense. We can't have rules for everything. So
even we have rules. No screaming in the house.
No screaming in the house. That's right. Yeah. So just remember, if someone ever, says, hey, don't tell anybody, this will be our little secret, then you say, no, I don't think so. And you immediately go tell your parents, like, you can tell me, and I promise never, ever to get mad. Okay?
Yeah, and even Lucy could tell Mama.
That's right. So now you guys know a little bit about strangers. I hope that this is helpful. And if you guys have any questions, talk to your mommy and daddy and say, hey, what should I do if I'm at soccer practice and a stranger comes up and says, hey, your mom says that I can take you home. Ooh, what should you do? Should you say, okay, and just hop into the car with them?
No.
I don't think so. You should say, I need to talk with my mommy and daddy. And so you don't need to be worried because where we live is pretty safe. And if you read and watch the news, it'll make you scared.
Houses can protect you from bad guys.
That's right.
And even bad guys can't get in houses.
That's right. Bad guys can't get in most houses. So.
Well, if they have a big circle and they dig it in houses and grab the people and take it home with them.
I don't know what she's talking about. That sounds scary. But anyway, no reason to be scared. Take a deep breath.
Wow.
Yes. All right. I hope that you enjoyed the Berenstain Bears books. There's more reading to do. I love reading, so let's go read some more.